Hello and welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here for the Brickyard 400 for the NAPA Auto Parts Cup Series. I am King in the booth as always, joined by nobody, but we got a pretty sizable field, just one car off from a full field here at Indianapolis, all ready to chase the one prize, the trophy, and kiss the bricks after tonight's race. We draw closer to the playoffs and the picture is becoming clearer of who's going to be able to race for a championship and who is not. So with that, we got a few pre-race ceremonies to take care of. So with that, please rise for the national anthem. And now to say the most famous words in motorsports.
God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Engines are getting fired. It is go time from the Brickyard. 90 laps to decide a Brickyard 400 champion in the NAPA Auto Parts Cup Series, season number 9. We're back. The Brickyard has failed to disappoint us this weekend. It's failed to disappoint us in the league's history, and I believe we have another great race on our hands here tonight. Be sure to stick around until the end, but it is going to be an exciting show. Are we already rolling? Oh, wow, we are. All right. Not wasting any time. Let's pace 2 laps. But as we get rolling under caution, let's go ahead and take a look at our commanders on the grid. Starting lineup for tonight at Indianapolis. On the front row, taking home another pole is the 47 of Forza, alongside the reigning Cup Series champion, the 48 of Flicker. Behind them in row 2, the winner of the Break Series race at Indianapolis last night, David, driving the number 64 development car for Dynaco Racing Motorsports, alongside Dragon, driving the Drone Strike Racing number 26. Row 3 belongs to a pair of Chevrolets. Mason, the 42 out of the Late Night Racing camp, and Supreme from the Bear Motorsports camp, reigning Brickyard 400 champion. Row 4 belongs to Bear Motorsports owner, number 24 of Ford, alongside Jawarero Motorsports' Court in the number 23 Dodge Challenger. Row 5 made up by a pair of Drone Strike Racing teammates. The 31 of Zach going to line up to the inside of his teammate Pengo. Row 6 made up by the 22 of Aiden from Rab Racing in that Dodge Challenger, and the 5 of Ballin going to line up alongside him out of the Blaze Tech camp. Rounding out our field here tonight is the 7 of Visk from Dynaco Racing Motorsports, and also not pictured is the 12 of Robloxian. Just got picked up or moved to D1 by Rab Racing. Excuse me, a few literal minutes before practice too, so weren't able to get a graphic made for him, but he's definitely here in the field. So as I said at the top of the show, 90 laps the distance here tonight. And let's take a look at our RPM rundown for tonight, presented by Craven Engines. We've got the very unique 90-degree corners here at Indianapolis. Never Never seen anywhere else on the schedule, but a very unique challenge for these drivers to navigate, as well as the short chutes before turns 2 and 4 coming out of 1 and 3. Not ample time for the tires to cool down before making another 90-degree turn, so we'll see how the drivers attack that throughout the race. And then we've also got the topic of track position, which is going to be crucial, especially here at the Brickyard. Extremely hard to pass if you're not a top of the class car. And then you've also got the fuel and tire life. Will the tires be able to last as long as the fuel? We shall see. They weren't able to last night in the break series, so we'll have to see if we see more of the same or a bit different strategy plays tonight in the Cup Series event. But here we are, double file coming through turn 4 for the final time before we see the green flag here tonight. 25 laps the distance through stage number 1. Forza and Flicker, your front row. It's just about time to get another crown jewel in the books here in Season 9 of the NAPA Auto Parts Cup Series into the Ohio Edison restart zone. Forza's on the gas, and we are green flag racing at Indianapolis. Pretty orderly restart until they got to turn 1. Now they're 3 wide for second. Flicker stuck on the top of 3 wide, already dropping positions. But here's the 18 of Supreme, his teammate, rocketing to the inside of 3 wide. Now here they come down the back straightaway at speed. Everybody trying to stay in the draft, find somebody to get behind. But Forza leads the way down the back stretch. David and Dragon side by side for second behind him. Here's a 48 looking to make his way back to the front on the inside of his teammate Supreme coming through turn 4. Little contact, going to put the 18 up the track into the wall a bit, but able to continue with minimum issues. Headed back down the front stretch for the first time tonight. Forza still in the lead, going to try and pull away as soon as he can. Meanwhile, we've got contact in the back. The 24 Ford nearly around with the 21 of Pengo underneath him. But they're able to keep it together. We'll stay green for now. David in second right now. Dragon and Flicker were battling for third, but the 48 made a wise decision to just drop in line and push this 26 down this back straightaway. Single file all the way through the field already. Until you get a little bit further in the back, they're still side by side trying to sort themselves out here. '26 of Dragon making up some ground here on the 64. David being aggressive with the blocking down the back straightaway, trying to avoid the draft, but Forza still driving away at the head of the field. But David was so strong last night in the break series, and now here he is running second early in the Cup Series. He's really found something that he likes in this Indianapolis racetrack. And he got their permission from team owner Michigan to run the development car here tonight. Got the belief that he can go win or get a good finish for the team. So here he is in the Cup Series tonight, currently running second in front of the 26 of Dragon, a birthday boy inside the 26. Want to wish Dragon a happy birthday. Turned 18 today, but right now he's getting put in the wall by the 18 of Supreme. Not sure what Supreme was trying to do there, but they're going to lose a lot of time and positioning on the racetrack. See if we can get another look at that here. Coming into turn 3, Supreme just runs into the corner like the 26 isn't there, and then maybe got tight on entry, but they're both up in the wall, and they jackknife for a while. They get off of each other, but not before losing plenty positions and just being way off the pace. Let's see this through one more time. I mean, Supreme never even got to the bottom there in turn 2, so possibly a mechanical issue. Didn't thought he was going to have more grip on entry than he did. And unfortunately, it cost the 26 big time. Very spread out at the front of the field, though. The 48 of Flicker now to second ahead of the 64 of David. 23 of Quirt also there. Now going to dive to the inside for third. And he'll even advance to second. What a corner for Quirt. Going to try and carry that momentum through turn 4, and he will to second. What a move from the 23. Picked up 2 positions in 2 corners right there. That was slick. And now he's in second. Going to try and chase down the 47. Very spread out field right now. 24 of Ford going to get passed up by the 5 of Ballin for 8th. Here's the 26 of Dragon. See all the time and all the positions he's lost after that dust up with Supreme, but Supreme has lost even more time, about 13 seconds back from the leader that last time by the start-finish line. So potentially an opportunity to play some strategy, maybe try and work his way into some stage points with an undercut maybe, or maybe just hope for a caution, but we'll have to see what Supreme does. Build up at the front, it's all 47. Forza led every lap so far from the pole. Forza got a chance to make history here tonight. If he wins here at Indianapolis, this would break the record for the longest winning streak in NAPRA history with 5 straight wins, counting the All-Star last weekend. So a lot on the line here for the 47. Not just another win, but potentially record-breaking win. Strong corner for David right around the outside of the 23 of Court. And then back to the bumper of the 48. I think these 3 need to start pushing each other on the straightaways if they want to get up to that 47 and start roughing him up, racing him for this lead. Right here, though, really good bump drive down this straightaway here from the 64 to the 48, all the way down, just locked onto his bumper. And now they got to stay off of each other through the corner and then push each other down the back straightaway. But here's the 23 to the inside of the 64, not trying to wait in line. But it looks like just with that straightaway, they have gained significant ground on Forza. 23 not quite to the 48's bumper. Now he's going to get there, though, with help from the 64. And these 3 are gaining on Forza. Strategy of working together, definitely working at Indianapolis. It's such a draft-heavy track with these incredibly long straightaways. Lots of time to bump draft, play games with each other, and work the air into your favor. But now here's Flicker to the outside of Forza, and the 23 is going to stay in line with him, might even push him right around the 47 here. Headed for turn 1. Let's see how Flicker manages on the top. Gonna nose out ahead. We'll see if he can make this move through turn 2. Contact up the track a bit. Gonna stay out of the wall now. They're side by side, even down the back straightaway for the lead. Top 4 positions, all 4 different manufacturers. A Ford, a Chevy racing for the lead, a Dodge, and a Honda back behind them for third. Flicker going to have to cede the battle for the lead on the outside coming through turn 3, but right back to the bottom at 4. Clean crossover. Got a little loose underneath him, though. Going to fall back to second for the time being. Going to have to bide his time and dial up another attack later. Peeked out to the inside coming down that front straightaway, but decided to stay in line for now. And don't look now, but just a few paces behind this top 4 is now the 21 of Pengo. He started to make some ground up on these leaders over the course of this opening run. especially with all the battling that they just had. They were, I mean, side by side, 2 rows deep for just about a lap right there. So big, punching a massive hole in the air for the 21 to draft through. And Pengo now looking to put his name into this battle for the lead here in stage number 1. Ooh, Flicker a late dive to the inside of Forza. Some contact made. 47 gonna clip the wall off of turn 1. But Flicker now on the inside. Gonna try and take the lead. Here's the 23 now to the back bumper. Who will he push? He's gonna go with the 48. Will he try and make it 3 wide? We'll see. Got a chance to. He's got the 64 with him. Looks like they're all gonna push past Forza though. Flicker gonna clear for the lead for now. Court though to the inside. Contact. Good save by the 23. 48 tried to make a move. 47 tried to get back behind the 23. Was not clear. Now here's the 21 of Pengo. Up to third. Oh no! Pengo's getting turned. Around with the 47 goes the 21. They're gonna lose a lot of time way off the pace. And Forza and Pengo now outside of the top 5. Flicker now your leader. But still got to hold off the 23 of Court, now the 64 of David, and now the 12 of Robloxian out of nowhere into the top 5, sitting 4th. Let's take another look at what happened off of turn 4 here. Everything happened so quickly coming into turn 3, and that just brought the entire about top 7 up onto this group. And looks like I can't really see what happens here. Pengo's on the bottom. Forza looks like he turns down the racetrack. He turns down the racetrack, tries to get below the 21, and then contact is made right there. I'm not sure who you can call that on. Looks like more of a racing incident than anybody to be blamed, but they lost a ton of time, and they handed the lead over to the 48 of Flicker now. Oh, 23 of Court into the grass. Some contact with the 64. 3 wide going into turn 2. 4 wide. Look at the 42 of Mace shooting the middle. And Court backed out of that immediately. But Mace with a ballsy move to shove that car into the middle. And it worked out for him too. He got a spot. Have another look at this move right here. They're 3 wide coming into turn number 2. The 42 sees a gap, shoves that 42 Chevrolet in there, and forces the 23 of Court to lift out of the gas, drop out of it, because there was likely going to be contact coming off of turn number 2 right there. And here comes the 42 to pit road now. .31 of Zek coming off of pit road, as well as the 18 of Supreme. Gonna go a lap down to the leaders who are staying out a bit longer. Flicker now starting to open up a gap over the 12. So now we got a question when we'll see the leaders pit. We got a few drivers up in the front 5 signaling that they're coming to pit road this time. Hands out the window for the 12, the 64, and maybe even the 23. We'll see coming around to turn 4 this time who makes that sharp turn left coming off of turn 4 and comes down to pit road. We'll see. Looks like Flicker's coming. David gonna smack the wall, but he's and Flicker speeds on entry. Robloxian also coming. The 26 of Dragon on the pit road. 23 of Court stayed out. Pit road cycle beginning. The 47 of Forza also gonna follow the leaders on the pit road. A costly mistake for Flicker, but likely going to miss out on some stage points here at the end of stage number 1. Everybody else, though, able to make it into their box with no issues, it looks like. Dragon going to win the race off pit road. A quick service for the 26 team. Now we'll see where they blend. The 42 was the first to pit road out of this late pack, so we'll see where he comes around to blend with the guys he was racing around. Looks like he might lose a little bit of time. What is Flicker doing? Well, looks like the lead will go over to the 26 of Dragon, and he has a country mile back behind him to the 64 of David in second now. And 23 of Court too fast on pit road. That'll be a pass-through penalty for him. Five of Ballin also completing service, heading off of pit road. Got some accusations of the 26 missing the blue line on pit exit. I didn't see it, so if the officials saw it, they can throw that yellow or throw that penalty. Here's Forza looking for fourth against the 42 of Mace, but Mace not satisfied waiting in line. He's going to swing back to the inside and take that spot back with a big momentum swing on the back straightaway. 21 of Pengo just a few paces behind these two, looking to put himself in this battle for stage points here as we close in on the conclusion of stage number one. The top five all receive stage points, so this battle for fourth and fifth could prove fruitful for some of these drivers. Especially the 42 and 20, or especially the 42 rather, as that's a great transition to look at our points coming into tonight. No points given out last weekend in the All-Star race, so looking at our points following Nashville. Oh, that's the Break Series points. Whoops, hold on. There we go. Cup Series points following Nashville. Still atop the point standings is the 47 of Forza, but if you look a little closer down to the cut line, you'll see the 42 of Mace in 13th, a few points outside of the cut line, and every point he can get would help that cause for the playoffs, as I didn't see what happened to the 47, but Mace now with a pretty sizable cushion back to Forza and Pango. But you can look at the rest of the points as we run right now, or not as we run, but you can look at the points following last weekend at Nashville. A few more drivers in need of some good runs. 24 of Ford would like a good run. Currently above the cut line in 8th, but a good run never hurts. Same could go for the 23 of Quirt, first car below the cut line. Missed a few the past few races, but looking to get some points tonight. Gain on the cut line to the 1 of Hobbs, who has not been active at all recently in the league. So a good opportunity for the 23 to jump above the cut line. We got about 5 races until the playoffs begin, so time is running out for some of these drivers lower on the point standings, like the 87 of Thearchy, a winner at Atlanta a few weeks ago. The 99 of Hellhound, he's been really inactive since the start of the season. The 7 of Visk, 20 of Deer. A lot of these guys needing some points in their way, you know, to make this late push for the playoffs, but definitely something to watch as the season progresses and as we get closer to playoff time. So Dragon's still your leader here at Indianapolis, to 64 of David. Still in second, 12 of Robloxian in third. First race with Rab Racing. Not a bad showing at all right now in position for some playoff points and some stage points. Having a pretty solid season, just has not been too active. You just saw him on that points sheet, he was way towards the bottom, so now is the time to start being active, start getting some good finishes, good playoff or good stage finishes for the 12 car. Looks like the 64 is gaining on the 26 here. Dragon, yeah, definitely losing time back to the 64, but David showed, I mean, incredible pace last night in the Break Series race. I can't stress it enough how fast he was, especially on the long run. I mean, his ability to just hawk people down was unmatched, and it looks like he's got that same ability right now in this Cup Series car. See if he can catch this 26 before the stage is over. I think he will be able to. I believe 3 laps is enough time. But we'll just have to see how hard he pushes for this stage when considering that the development car is not in the driver's point standings or the owner's point standings. So, excuse me. Just watching the battle here is he's really driven away from the 12 car behind him, and now continues to gain on the 26 chunks at a time. Really strong lap by David. Now to the back bumper of the 26 for the lead. Tried to get a good run off of turn 4, but couldn't quite get it. Now he's going to have to stay in line and draft down this front straightaway. Dragon going to have to block as he takes 2 laps to go. Pit road closes. David to the inside. Dragon trying to hold his ground on the outside, and Robloxian waiting in the wings for these two to get together so he can swoop by and steal this stage win. No pressure out back for these 3, so they can go as hard as they want. They got 10 seconds back to 4th. A little up the track, here comes Robloxian to the inside of Dragon. David clears to the lead, headed down the front straightaway to see the white flag in stage number 1. 1 lap to go. And it's 3 cars all going for the win. The stage win, that is. All 3 of them are in position for playoff points, but it pays more the higher you finish. And the 26 and 12 are full-time drivers. The 64 is not, just in a development car. So the 12 and the 26 could definitely use any points that they can pick up here. But now it's David and Robloxian side by side down the back straightaway. Dragon now getting a lot of draft down the backstretch. Let's see if he can make a move coming through 3 and 4. Robloxian got the perfect alignment on the bottom. Can David roll the top like he's been able to all weekend? Still even through turn 3, headed for 4. Robloxian trying to get the throttle down. He's going to clear off of turn 4, headed back down towards the yard of bricks. An exhilarating battle, but Robloxian going to see the green and white checkered flag and win stage 1 at the Brickyard. Good stuff. Coming down to the line for fourth, that'll be Pengo over Mace. So a good start to the tenure with Rab Racing for Robloxian, kicking off with a stage win. His first stage win and his first stage with the team. Promising start to this driver and team relationship here. But pit road will be open. And 48 will get the free pass. Pit road is open. Looks like everybody's coming down. 26 of Dragon going to stay out, as well as the 18 and 24 are going to stay out until the second lap. Everybody making it into their boxes. 31 of Zach going to have to back up a little bit into his box. 23 of Court barely inside of that box. Right rear tire so close to the line. Wow. .47 is stopped on the racetrack. Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call. But second lap of pit road being open, and now it'll be closed before this restart. .23 of Court was the only car to stay out on that second lap. All right, seeing the 1 to green. We're going to be the first to the choose, going on the back straightaway, followed by the 26 of Dragon. So we'll see where they decide to line up for this restart. Coming down to it, Court will go to the bottom, Dragon to the top, Supreme, Ford, Pango, Visk, and Zach to the bottom, or Forza to the bottom, sorry. And then following the 26 on the top is the 12, 42, 48, 5, 31, and the 64. So, all double file for the restart. A pair of Dodges on the front row. Jabarero and Rab Racing got an alliance, being the only 2 Dodge teams in the series. So, we'll see how they play with each other on this restart. Behind them, you've got the Late Night Racing and Bear Motorsports Alliance as well. So, let's see how this restart plays out. Coming down to the Ohio Edison restart zone, 23, your control car. Into the Ohio Edison restart zone, and we are green. Where was Supreme going? And he's able to check up and seed positions, but 23 tried to block the 12 and put him into the wall. Now they're 5 wide coming through turn 2. That's not going to work. Forza sideways in front of the field, and they're all wrecking. We got a big crash coming through turn 1. Multiple cars around. Caution going to come out. Quick caution following a restart in stage number 2. Oh wow, that was quick. Let's take another look at that incident right here. Coming through turn 1, just before this replay started, the 12 tried to block the 23, excuse me, tried to block the 12, put him into the wall, and that just started shuffling them way back. The 18 and 24 able to get by unscathed on the bottom, but everybody else behind them, they're 5 wide right here. Forza and Pengo both in the grass below that curb, or Ballin trying to make a way on the top, and Forza just loses grip, gets hooked in front of the 21, back up in front of the field, and it's game over from there. The 5 gets hooked, he spins down across the track, Forza's around backwards, Pengo gets turned, Flicker, a hard head-on hit into the wall, and that's the consequence of these tight restarts on this very narrow Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Trying to go 5 wide like that would never work. I mean, this track is really just 2 grooves, not even 3, really 1 groove. We figured out how to make it 2 grooves apparently. We've seen the top be able to hold its ground for a few laps, but trying 5 wide on a restart, that is not going to work, and the entire field just found that out the hard way. Big wreck, a lot of cars just trying to find their way through, but nonetheless, cautions come out. Or caution has come out, and we are back on pit road under yellow here. 64 of David, the only car to stay out. Everybody else coming down for service. We're going to win the race off. Pit road open a second time. Feed takers to top off. The 18, 12, and 5 all coming back down. 64 coming down for the first time on this caution. I'm not sure why we're double file. We're not going green this time. Now we're coming to the one to green. Once again, the 23 will lead us to the choose cone. This time Ford will be the second to the choose. Best starting or restarting position that Ford has had all night. We'll see how he fares. Not had the best start to the evening, but this track position could potentially help him stay up there. We talked about it earlier in the show in the RPM rundown. Track position is crucial, so we'll see if this change of scenery at the front of the field assists the 24 in his quest to end the winning streak, or the losing streak, excuse me, the quest to end the losing streak. I believe 120 plus races now coming into tonight. Yeah, 125 race winless streak for the driver of the number 24 as Court has pulled off the racetrack. Oh, he hit the choose box. Yeah, it's a penalty. All right, well, now Ford will be the leader of the inside line, followed up by the 7 of Visk, the 12 of our Bloxian, the 18, 42, 47, and 23 also down on the bottom. Then the 26, 21. Yeah, 21 and 31 look the exact same. 64, 5, 48, 31, all filling in the outside line. So, headed for the Ohio Edison restart zone. Back on the gas, and we're back green, but we've got trouble in the back, I believe. We got a car around. Yeah, that was ballin'. Trouble on the restart for the 5. But up at the front, Ford with a great restart. He's going to clear out into the lead for turn 1. Dragon in second, trying to capitalize off the restart. Everybody else trying to find their spot in line. Here's the 18 of Supreme looking for some track position. Trying to make his way into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Oh, way onto the apron goes Supreme, and then the 7 of Visk. And we got a car around in the back. 64 of David goes for a spin around, but he's able to get back straight with some contact, and we stay green. Dragon now going to lead us back to the yard of bricks with 15 laps to go in stage 2. Ford back to second. Visk trying to hold on to third. Lots of shuffling behind him. Four wide for a moment off of turn 1. Oh, 21 up into the wall. Jackknifed with the 12. Oh, and he's going to come back down into traffic. Oh my goodness, a massive hit for Pengo and David and Ballin. Oh my goodness. That was violent, and the caution is back out on the speedway. Cautions breed cautions in the NAPRA, and wow, that was rough. That was a big hit. But now for the race bag, Dragon's going to take it over Ford. Supreme able to come around the 7 of Visk for 3rd, and Forza will come across the line 5th. Your top 5 at the race bag. But wow. Let's take another look at this most recent incident that brought out the caution. You'll see him here right at the left side or right side of your screen, excuse me. The 21 just up into the wall. 12 car is out there. I'm not sure if they had contact before that, but you see the 21 trying to get off of him, just backs right into the path of the 64 and the 5. And a massive hit for both of those drivers. Sorry, that's not the 64. Or that's not the 5, that's the 31, his teammate. The 31 and the 64 both taking some big hits to the fronts of those cars, as Pengo just not aware that they're coming at that rate of speed, trying to get off of the 12 and stop losing track position. But unfortunately, takes out 2 other race cars. And we're under caution yet again. Take a look at this one more time. Man, that hit does not get any better the more times you see it. But pit road is open again. And only a few cars going to come this time. Dragon and Forza of them. Port, Flicker, Ballin, and David also hitting pit road. Penalty for the 64 on pit road. As well as the 5. Pit road open a second time, and everybody that stayed out on the first lap is coming back down, trying to maximize the amount of fuel they get or they can have in their cars for this upcoming run. Should be going green with about, what, 10 to go. So we'll see if people try and stretch it all the way to the end of stage 2. I think they should be able to make it. Might be a little close, but I think everybody that's coming on this second lap of pit road being open should be able to make it. If we have another caution, I expect everybody to come down.
R14, you got me.
Yes, I do. Yep.
Forza wants their server to shut down, but to my knowledge, the only people who are complaining about server problems are Forza and Zach.
No.
That's what I was thinking. If it's only 2 people, then what's the big deal, right?
Yeah, we're not shutting down. That's goofy. Freak no. If they're lagging that bad, tell them they need to park. Alright, here we come to the 1 to green this time by. Jarvis will choose on the back stretch once again. Dragon will lead us to it, followed by the 23 of Court, and then the 48 of Flicker, the top 3. Closing in on halfway.
Hey, if the server shuts down randomly, I didn't do it, okay?
What do you mean? Forza can't shut it down. He doesn't have admin because he's driving. I take away all the drivers' admin when they're racing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going back to the race stage.
Alright. Alrighty. Here we are, double file, headed for the restart zone. 26-23 front row, then it's Bear Motorsports teammates, Flicker and Supreme. Row number 2 behind them, Ford and Pengo. Row number 3. So, coming back to 10 laps to go in stage 2, and we are green. Pretty clean restart compared to the last 2, but got a battle for the lead heating up off of... Oh no, we got a car around! I think that was Zach. Yeah, 31 of Zach sliding down the back straightaway. Able to get straightened out and continue, but he's going to be shuffled all the way to the back of the field. Flicker and Dragon still going after each other for the lead. Everybody else trying to find their footing in the pack on this restart. And try and find their way to the front before it gets spread out. As we are closing in on our stage 2 conclusion, end of stage 2. I don't know why I said that twice. Dragon very defensive on the bottom, coming down the front straightaway. Able to stay clear. Now he's got his teammate, the 21 of Pengo, looking to the inside of the 48. Ooh, contact between the 48 and 23 right there, coming off of 3. And a little bit more contact between Flicker and his teammate there, that time coming off of turn 4. Dragon brings us to 8 to go in stage 2. Forza looking out to the inside, trying to make his way back up to the front. Oh no! Contact with the 24 Ford. They're both into the inside wall, and they're going to lose spots. I'm not sure what happened right there with Ford and Forza. I don't know if the 24 turned down on him. I don't know if Forza might have gotten into the side of the 24 and hooked him down the track. But they made contact, and Forza, again, struggling to make his way back to the front after initially losing his track position. Here's another look at that incident off of turn 2 coming off the initial, like, immediate, the lap of the restart. Looks like Zach just tried to get off the corner too aggressively, doored the 24 and, you know, set himself sideways in front of the 12, but was able to get straightened out, and now he's still out in the back of the pack, but likely, definitely not getting any stage points unless we get a yellow. Supreme advances to 4th over David. Single file all the way throughout the field. Dragon leading the way, closing in on 5 to go in the stage, coming around to 6 this time. Where are they? There they are. Here's Flicker to the inside of Pango, and he's going to make that pass effortlessly as he now takes 2nd. Flicker now starting to slip backwards to the top 5. Dragon still leading the way, got his teammate in 2nd behind him. Will Pango go for the lead, try and take this stage win away from his teammate? Or will he play nice and hang in line and play blocker for him? I believe Dragon is looking to sweep the stages, maybe? Did he win the first one? I really don't remember. Pango all the way in the grass trying to get by his teammate. Now he's aligned himself to the inside. I keep getting blocked by stuff in the infield. Contact into the wall! 64 of David, also a little contact, but here's the 18 of Supreme surging through the middle. Now he's side by side with the 26 down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide behind him. Here comes Forza now from 6, looking to put himself in this battle for the stage win. 6 cars under a blanket coming through turn 3 with 5 laps to go, coming around to C4. Contact 64 into the wall with the 48 and the 21. They're all going to lose a lot of time and bumper tag as the secondary pack comes upon them. Now Supreme, reigning Brickyard 400 champion, looking to go around the 26 for the lead in stage 2, and he will. Dragon, though, trying to side draft, fight hard for that spot. Gonna have the inside into 1, but Supreme, a decisive corner. He will clear back over the 26 for the lead. Dragon with a good corner exit, gonna go right back to the bottom. Here comes the 47 now. Huge head of steam as these two are side by side. Forza now bumping the 26, a Ford associate down the back straightaway. Supreme stuck on the outside, going to try his best to hold his ground. Now he's going to go to the middle. Look at this. Supreme surging through the middle. Forza on the inside. Dragon going to be relegated to 3rd now. Coming down the front straightaway, 47 back to the lead with 3 laps to go, I think, in stage number 2. Oh, what the frink? Zach has just spun out in turn 1. It's unfortunate. And Visk is coming off of pit road. Oh, we got a car around on the front stretch. 64 of David. Backwards in front of the field. Forza already opening up a lead. Quirt now to second, trying to take it away from Dragon. They're going to get up the track. Here comes the 12 of Rocky. What a move. What momentum for the 12 right there off of turn 2. Now they're 3 wide down the back straightaway, all for second place. If this doesn't prove to you that stage points matter to these guys, I don't know what does. 3 wide for second here at Indianapolis. Now Flicker replaces the 12 on the bottom. Robloxian in the middle. Quirt still on the top. Oh, the 5 jackknifed on the 23 off of turn 4. White flag in stage 2 is upon us. The battle for the final playoff point is still on, though, between Flicker and Dragon. And Robloxian not too far out of the way. Turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Flicker to the inside. Not able to hold his goal, but 26 into the wall. That's going to help the 48. Turn 4 for the final time. Forza going to come off and win stage number 2. Robloxian going to take second. Flicker barely clear up in front of Dragon for third. The final playoff point given out in the stage will go to the 48. And Ford going to edge out Mace for that final stage, the final 2 stage points. Another exhilarating stage finish as the caution falls back on the speedway once again. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. I love Indianapolis. Never fails to disappoint. I mean, never disappoints. Never disappoints here in the NAPA Auto Parts Racing Association, whether it's the Cup Series or the Brake Series. Pit road is open. Forza gonna lead everybody down. And he speeds on entry. It's unfortunate. Or no, Robloxian speeds on entry. Just past halfway, pit road opened the second time for this caution. And majority of the field coming back down, which is an interesting choice. There's no way we can make it to the end on this with no caution, so I see no benefit in coming down this second time. Other than, I mean, being able to go a few laps longer, obviously, but, you know, these drivers could know something that I don't know, so we'll see. '64 of David and the 23 of Court, the two drivers that stayed out on this second lap. Alrighty, here we come to the 1 to green. David gonna lead us to it. Court once again in second, second to the shoes. Court's been finding himself with pretty good track position before these restarts, but whether it's other people's drama he gets caught up in or just not executing on the restarts like he needs to, he's not been able to maintain that track position following the restarts. So we'll see how he does on this time to kick off stage 3. Once again, let's look at our RPM rundown for tonight. 90-degree corners, often imitated, never replicated here at Indianapolis. Then we've also got the short chutes before turns 2 and 4 as we see the field come through that one now. Not a lot of time for the tires to get cooled down before making another 90-degree turn. So we've seen the drivers, you know, often get tight coming off of 1 and 3 and then have really good entries into 2 and 4. So we'll see if that's on purpose. We'll see if that's the game plan for a lot of these teams as we progress. But we've also got the track position. We've seen that play a massive part in the racing. We saw Forza lose track position earlier in the race and then just now be able to get back to the front at the end of stage 2. So we'll see if we see a lot of the names here at the front up here later in the run, right before our pit stop. And then speaking of the pit stops, once again, the fuel and tire longevity. Looks like the fuel cannot actually go that long, so strategy will definitely play a part in this final stage from the Brickyard. But with that, pace car pulls off the racetrack, leaving the field in the hands of the 64, your control car on the outside. 36 laps to go at the Brickyard, and we're back green in stage number 3. An even restart for the top 2. Everybody else starting to fan out, headed for turn 1. David with a decisive restart, going to drive right around the 23 for the lead. Flicker going to try and follow him through in the 48. Little contact from his teammate, though. Going to put him in the wall! And the round goes to 23 in front of the field. Oh, and they're still wrecking. Flicker and Supreme sideways in front of the 47. And once again, Court unable to maintain the track position and capitalize on the restart placing. Doesn't lose too much time, too many spots, but definitely, once again, starting from the front row now outside of the top 5. But the real big loser, 48 of Flicker, way out of the pack, way disconnected. So now he's just going to have to ride around for the entirety of this run and try and use some strategy to get himself back into this thing. 4 wide down the front straightaway. My God. That's not going to work. 31 backed out at the top. 42 backed out as well. Still 3 wide, though, for second now. Pengo and Dragon side by side moving their way forward. Ford going to get absolutely jumped by Drone Strike Racing teammates back from second to fourth in the span of a corner. David pulling away with all the battling behind him, way down the front straightaway, trying to avoid the draft. The 5 and 23 having to squabble down the back straightaway, door slamming each other here, leaning on each other, headed for turn 3. Now here's the 42 of Mace looking to take advantage of the 24's downslide. Gonna have the inside on the 26 going into turn 1. Dragon though able to power around the outside and hold on to third. Oh, contact between the 26 and 42 off of turn 3. Good save for the 42. Saw that car get a little squirrely after the door slam. But they're able to stay side by side off of turn 4. This is losing them time to the 21 up ahead as the 23 and the entire pack is single file behind them. That stack draft is gaining on them. And now here's the 23 all the way to the bottom. 42 missed the corner. Gonna put the 26 into the wall, and they both lose at least one spot. Dragon 2. Mace also in danger of losing another spot to the 12 over Obloxian coming forward now. .64 still your leader. 21 of Pengo, though, looking to make some inroads on him as they've been pretty separated from the pack for these last few laps. David darting all over the racetrack on these long straightaways, trying to avoid giving that 21 behind him some draft. Look at him all the way on that inside wall like he just won the race. Coming down the front stretch, now back up to the top to optimize his corner entry. Saw him do that same thing in the break series last night, so he knows how strong the draft is and does everything he can to avoid having that play a factor in the cars behind him. Lots of contact between Mace and Quirt right there. Jeez. Could not get off of each other. 42 is sliding back at an alarming pace. Dropping spots. Extremely fast. Here's another look at that restart. With the 23, the 18, and the 48. This is what got Flicker so far behind the pack and so disconnected. Just could not get off the wall. Could not get off the 47 of Forza, and his teammate Supreme also nearly around, not all the way around like the 48, but 23 of Quirt just tried to clear himself in front of the 18, was not clear, got hooked in front of both Bear Motorsports teammates, and then trying to get themselves sorted out, Quirt just cleans the 48 out and the 18, so potentially a spotter miscommunication or just a disregard of care for the 23, and it has cost Flicker big time. Oh, wow. Close call for Ballin with that inside wall right there coming down to pit road. But able to get back above it before what would have been a hellacious impact. .30 laps to go at Indianapolis. But we got some cars flying down pit road. I'm not sure what happened right there. Let's see if I click the replay button in time to see what happened. Coming off of turn 4. Oh, looks like the 42 just hooked Supreme down onto pit road. They got really lucky to not hit that pit wall. 26 and 21 up the racetrack in turn 3. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I think the 42 might have thought he was clear, tried to get him behind the 18. And luckily hooked him hard enough and fast enough to stay out of the inside wall, but hard battling continues behind the leader, David. Teammates starting to fall back a little bit, had some contact, had a dust up down in turn 3, and they have fallen back to 5th and 6th. That's Dragon and Pengo I'm talking about. Here's your 18 of Supreme back inside the top 5 after some trouble on the initial restart. Winner of the Brickyard 400 last season when he was still driving for his own team, SCP Dodge Racing Team. That team was disbanded because Supreme didn't have the time to manage it anymore, so now he races the 18 for Baron Motorsports and winless on the season. I'm sure he'd love to go back-to-back at the Brickyard and find himself kissing the bricks at the end of this thing tonight. '64 David still leading the way. You see him darting all across the track on the back straightaway, trying to avoid the draft as much as he can. We got a massive disconnection back to the 5 and the 7 and the 24. What happened? Oh my gosh, big checkup at the front of the field. Supreme and Court got together and it brought everybody behind them right back to them when they had finally started opening up a gap. Now they're 3 wide headed for turn 1. Pengo gonna back out of it. And 21 is in the wall and slow in the wall. Pengo might have an issue. Way off the pace. Now finally got the hammer back down and trying to gain some speed, but concern maybe for the 21 right there. David darting all over the racetrack again. Supreme, finally the first driver to see actually follow the draft and chase him around. Supreme definitely knows what he's doing in Indianapolis. Historically, one of his better racetracks. We've spoken about his win here last season. Oh, now they're 4 wide and now they're almost in the wall. Jesus. That was close. That was really close. But anyway, I was talking about Supreme's win last season. Jesus. Yeah, Supreme definitely knows how to get around Indianapolis, but currently got some traffic he's got to sort his way through coming up, but we're coming up on a green flag pit stop, so that should definitely spread things out. We'll see how people execute. 23 of Quirt down onto the access road, looking like he's coming to pit road. You don't need to run that access road when you're coming on the pit road, but I guess he is. It's going to cost him some time for sure. Oh, contact with the 12 coming off of turn 4, and now a late decision to pit from Supreme, it looked like, and he's going to speed on entry. The 12 got it slowed down. The 18 did not. Trying to follow the 64 on the pit road. Supreme, absolute choke job, speeds on pit entry, and he's going to have to serve a penalty drive through pit road. 24 Ford coming off of pit road as the leaders are coming on. David from the lead in the 64 needs a great stop. And a really good stop for the 64, able to get on and off with the lead and have a big gap behind him as well. The 18 of Supreme's penalty is still pending. There was contact with the 12 on his pit entry. So they're going to have to determine if he sped because he was hit or if he was already speeding and then got hit. But regardless, looks like a really late decision to come to pit road for Supreme. And I mean, that's already cutting it close, coming that late off of turn 4. Few cars yet to pit. That would be the 47 and the 42, the only cars yet to hit pit road, as we see Dragon coming off of pit road now. '64 car likely going to cycle out to the lead. We'll see where he blends with this 47 and 42 whenever they come to pit road. They're running it pretty long, especially this 42. I'm a little concerned if he can make it back around to pit road. Might want to start saving. Forza will definitely be able to make it back around. He might even go another lap after this one. But Mace has to come this time. He might not even be able to make it to his pit box. No, he'll make it. He'll make it. Just be a little close. Forza he could go another lap if he felt like it. He's got such good pace, he might not even lose that much time staying on track longer than everybody else. And yeah, he's going to go around one more time. 42 of Mace off the racing groove into pit road. Been a solid overall night for the 42. Qualified 5th, sorry. Qualified 5th. And has stayed right outside the top 5 all night. Had some flashes of speed where he's driven up to the top 5, but has not stayed there for long. So down and away he is. And that leaves the 47 of Forza, the only car yet to pit. And he's going to be coming to pit road with that car running on fumes as he's approaching 30 fuel and he hasn't even turned to left to pit road. Here he comes. Got to come this time. He's got a long roll down to his pit box though, the first box, able to get the car slowed down. So now we watch the 64 of David and see where he will merge with the 47. Did Forza just play the entire field, and will he come back out of pit road with the lead? Still rolling down to his pit box. Very slow pit road speed of 75 miles per hour compared to the 200 miles an hour plus that these guys are doing on track. Oh, Forza looked like he was a little long in his box, but these pit boxes are so big, almost impossible to get up hitting outside of your box penalty. Here's Forza coming off of pit road. Service is complete. Here's the 64 coming down the front straightaway. Let's watch them come off of pit road here. Forza. Oh, David's going to smoke him off of pit road. There's the 47. David around to the lead. The 12 of Robloxian in second following him. Now let's see where the 47 will merge compared to the other cars. There comes the 42 of Mace, who he was racing with, coming onto pit road. Lots of packs of 2, it seems to be forming here. But with that green flag cycle complete, David now your leader. Robloxian is second, trying to chase him down. And I do believe we will have one more pit stop before this race is said and done. So still plenty of time for mistakes to be made. Whether it's on pit road, whether it's on track, we can still plenty of time for a caution at that. Well, we just got a pit sequence out of the way. We're pretty spread out here as we run down the laps until the conclusion of the race. So I see this as the best time ever to go to our forecast before us crank it up for tonight at Indianapolis. We welcome you back from our Crank It Up. With 11 laps to go at Indianapolis, closing in on 10, we're also closing in on another round, our final round of green flag pit stops of the night. The money stops are on the horizon. And these pit crews are gearing up on pit road. It's going to be busy. It's going to be clutch. But we still got a few more laps of racing before we see these leaders at least come to pit road. We already saw a few cars trickle off and hit pit road by themselves under our Crank It Ups, such as the 24 and the 18 and the 31. So those guys are good until the end. Well, maybe not Supreme. Supreme hasn't pit yet. It'll be interesting to see if Forza can stretch it all the way to the end, because he stayed out much longer than everybody else, so could be playing the long game. Yeah, you see him saving fuel on the straightaway, so he's definitely going to try his hardest to make this fuel last all the way to the end, these last 10 laps. But that is a tall task, even for one of the league's best. 9 laps to go. Had a leader change as well under our Crank It Up. Robloxian went around the 64, excuse me, and took that lead. 26er Dragon also took second from David. As now some contact coming off of turn 2 right there between 64 and 23. Flicker and Quirt find themselves side by side yet again. Now the question is, when will we see the leaders come to pit road? When will we see the hands out the windows? When will we see them signal to come to pit road? And will we see any mistakes from this top 5? Looks like Flicker's coming to pit road. Nope. Just a little slow off of turn 4 then. A little slow and a little low on the racetrack, but not coming yet. Oh, just got a radio communication. The 12 car, your leader, coming to pit road this time. Expect to see the hand out the window down the back straightaway this time. There it is. Waving the hand out the back straightaway, alerting all the drivers behind him. He's coming to pit road this time. But now here's the 26th of Dragon looking to his inside, though. Not sure how this is going to work if the 12 car's going to be pitting. 26 on his inside, 64 on his inside. Dragon or Robloxian might have to check up. Yeah, thankfully able to find a spot where he can cross to the bottom. Here it comes, off the racetrack, onto pit road. Close call with the 64. Had some contact on the racetrack. Almost got into the 12 coming to pit road, but Flicker also following Robloxian. Final stop of the night is upon us. No mistakes, can be made right here. That leaves the 26, 23, and 64, your leaders on the racetrack. Flicker long roll down pit road into his box. No issues. Bit of a long stop. Surprise, he's taken half fuel. Maybe not surprised. Maybe that's how much he needs to make it to the end. But half fuel for Flicker. Gonna beat Robloxian off of pit road, but the 12 car already up to speed. Gonna go around him coming off the access road. So we'll see where these two rejoin the leaders whenever they decide to pit. Here's the 64 of David coming down to pit road. Gonna peel off all by himself. Dragon and Quirt stay on the racetrack. Oh, wow. Really long in his box is David, but he's able to stay inside the lines. '26 and 23 still remain on the racetrack. Here comes Quirt. Down the pit road all by himself, and he speeds on entry, and he's out of fuel. Oh, disastrous final stop for the 23. He's out of fuel. And that is day over for Quirt. Unfortunate end to a promising night. But that's all she wrote for Quirt and the 23 crew. Now Dragon, the only car of the top 5 before that cycle yet to hit pit road. I believe he's got to come this time. Cannot make any mistakes. Needs a good stop. And we'll see where he rejoins where he was. And also keep an eye on the 47 of Forza. He's going to try and stretch this fuel all the way to the end. You see him heavy saving, not even on the throttle, or heavy saving way into the corners. Not even full throttle all the way down the straightaways. He will take the lead right here from Dragon. Now he's got to make this fuel last 4 more laps. Dragon into his box. Robloxian and Flicker are pretty separated behind him coming around. 64 of David actually ahead of those two. Here's Dragon coming off of pit road. David already up to speed though, gonna sail right around him for second. Or what will cycle out to be second. I don't think Ballin can make it all the way. As much as he tries to save, I don't think he can make it. Gonna have to hit pit road sooner rather than later. Before it closes, yeah, here he comes. So now all eyes are on the fuel tank of the 47. Can he last these last 3 laps? I think he can with 230 fuel. He's got a big gap, nearly half a lap, literally half a lap back to second place David. As long as nothing... Oh, caution is out! The caution is out on the racetrack. What has happened? Caution comes out with 2 laps to go. Wow. Wow. Well, that throws a wrench in things. We're gonna go to overtime. Wow. Well, we won't get to see a fuel mileage finish. It's gonna come down to NAPA overtime in the Brickyard 400. Oh my gosh, 2 laps away from seeing the white flag. You hate to see it if you're forced. So pit road is open. What is the 12 doing? Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Yes, 7 of Visk will get the free pass. Oh no, Supreme gets it. Sorry, 18 of Supreme gets the free pass. Oh my gosh. Astonishment inside the 47, I'm sure. Cannot believe that caution came out. But now he's going to be shuffled all the way to the back. Everybody else behind him has enough fuel to make it a few overtimes. Forza in danger of running out under this caution here. So he's going to have to come to pit road. Going to have to cede the lead. And just pray for some chaos to ensue on this restart. Here he comes to the open pit road. Looks like everybody's coming down. Why? Why? You idiots, why? Oh, tires. Race off of pit road. Alright. Pit road gonna be open one more time. Wow, I can't believe we got a caution. That's crazy. Pit road gonna be open a second time. And then we'll see the 1 to green next time by, and then we will have 2 laps to decide a winner. Here in the Brickyard. I believe last season's Brickyard ended in a overtime finish too. And Supreme was able to get that one done. So 18 car pretty far back in the pack. Just got back on the lead lap via the free pass. So we'll see if he's able to make some magic happen and go back to back at Indianapolis. Everybody gonna stay out right here on the second lap of pit road being open. So it looks like we're going green this time. Oh, we're green this time. All right, well, it looks like we are going green this time. So, gonna be NAPA overtime here in the Cup Series in the Brickyard 400. Dragon, your control car. The 5 of Ballin out of nowhere to second on the outside. Forza and Flicker started this race on the front row. Gonna restart in overtime in row number 2. One of the faster cars all night, the 64 of David back in row 3 alongside the 42 of Mace into the Ohio Western restart zone. We're green flag racing in NAPA overtime. Forza and Dragon side by side into turn 2. Flicker settles into third. They're still multiple wide behind these three, but up front, it's the 47, 26, and the 48. Dragon, your Daytona 500 winner of this season, trying to make it 2 crown jewels on the season for him. And on his birthday, what a present that would be to win. Oh, we got trouble in the back. We had a car around. But we'll stay green. Coming down to the white flag at Indianapolis. Forza gonna lead us to it, trying to break the draft, unleashing the Dragon down the front straightaway. Flicker in line behind him. Mace in third. Dragon looking to strike on him for that spot. But now it comes back to our 2 most recent champions and our front row sitters. Flicker looking for the crossover to the inside of Forza down the back straightaway. They're even coming down the back straightaway. Forza trying to get back behind the 48. No room to do so. The 42 of Mace now to the inside. Flicker, your leader, into turn 3 for the final time. Forza gonna turn to the inside, gonna get a good corner exit. They make contact in the wall. Forza spins back across the field. They're wrecking. Everybody's around. Dragon makes it through. Coming through turn 4 for the final time. Headed for the yard of bricks. Out of nowhere, Dragon will win the Brickyard 400. What a finish. Oh my goodness, what a finish. He stole it. He stole it. Dragon steals the Brickyard in the final corner to become... Oh my gosh, he has won the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in one season. The crown jewel merchant now in the 26th of Dragon. What a win for Dragon, man. Wow. Happy birthday, Dragon. Winning the Brickyard 400. Wow. What a finish. A massive wreck breaking out on the white flag, coming through turns 3 and 4. At the front of the field, and Dragon sneaks by to take the win. Let's have another look at the last lap or crash. Coming through 3, Forza turns back to the inside of Flicker coming off of the corner. Misjudges his corner exit, drives into the 48, walls himself with the 48. They get jackknifed. Dragon so close to being involved in that wreck, but he's able to get left enough, just barely left enough to avoid it. Look at that. Barely able to get scoot by that wreck. Forza bounces off the wall, cleans out all the rest of the cars trying to make it by. But at that point, none of it matters. Dragon clearing away with the lead and just running away to the yard of bricks, to the checkered flag. Insane finish at the Brickyard.
Freaking got third, bro. Holy shit.
Get out of here.
God.
Get out of here. Why are y'all in here? Why am I...
Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. That was insane. The Brickyard never disappoints. And now he'll get to burn it down in front of all the Brickyard fans who just got to see an absolute stellar finish. What a weekend of racing. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a staple of the NAPA Auto Parts Racing Association schedules, and has just delivered once again. Dragon, your winner of the Brickyard 400, won the Daytona 500 to kick off the season, and then he comes to the very next crown jewel and wins again, this time in Indianapolis. Kudos to the entire Drone Strike Racing number 26 team. Dragon, happy birthday to him. It doesn't get much better than that. I mean, that was a wild finish. I'm not gonna have a voice tomorrow. But now he will get to kiss the bricks in victory. Get to kiss the bricks on the front stretch. Get to celebrate in victory lane. What a win. Absolutely remarkable. I'm speechless. I'm honestly speechless. Wow. Wow. Here in victory lane. Incredible win for Dragon. Makes that 2 crown jewel victories on the season. And we'll see if we can get him for an interview.
Wait, who got
Join broadcast booth if you want an interview. Yay! Come up to the stage, Dragon.
Yo. Can't you there?
Yeah, Discord mobile sucks. I can't interview people if they're on mobile. I can't bring them up to the stage, apparently. Okay, well, never mind. Sorry, Dragon. Looks like we don't get a winner's interview.
I could interview. I could say some words for him.
Yeah,
since you can't.
Yeah,
Stupid ass Discord.
Mobile sucks.
Discord mobile.
All right, well, got the team owner of Drone Strike Racing, Torino, here in victory lane. Man, that was a wild finish. Did you think at all, going into turns 3 and 4 on the last lap, that your driver would end up in victory lane here?
No, not at all. And I told him on the radio, I'm like, holy cow, how did that happen? Like, honestly, I was expecting another stupid streak from the 47, but, just like Kyle Larson in reality, man, he is quick, but he makes just stupid decisions, and that's what Forza did coming out of coming out of turn 4 and just sold and took everybody out, and he was just there. He was unaffected. He came out. I said on the radio, don't look back, just keep going, and we got the race done.
Yeah, I mean, it was by an inch maybe he made it by that wreck without getting involved. So incredible luck.
Definitely had a Phoenix heart for sure.
Yeah, incredible luck right there, and a great drive overall to be in the position before the caution even to get a good finish regardless. Make that 2 crown jewel victories on the year for Dragon, the Daytona 500 and now the Brickyard 400. Very, very big paying victories for Dragon, so I'm sure you've got to be happy with that as the team owner. But yeah, again, congratulations to both of you on the win, and hopefully, Dragon, we see you again in 2 weeks at Chicago.
All right, Dragon, wave to the camera. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, King's already gone.
All right,
Smile and wave, boys.
We'll interview our second place finisher, Mace, though. Yeah, get out of here, Tom. Is everybody on Discord mobile? Can I just interview nobody? I wish Discord would fix their app. Okay, well, we'll come back to Mace. So, Forza finished 3rd. Who finished after Forza? I really don't know who finished where after the top 3, so we'll just interview Flicker. I know Flicker will come up here. Where's Flicker? Oh, he's down here. Here on pit road with Flicker, driver of the number 48 Chevrolet for Bear Motorsports, after the Brickyard 400, qualified on the front row, rolled off second, and then unfortunately were involved in all the chaos. Were the main driver involved in the chaos on that final overtime restart. Tell me what happened with you and the 47 coming through turn 3, and yeah, what do you have to say after that?
You know, I get no respect at all in this league. I race everyone clean, and I just get moved and put in the wall and wrecked. So, I mean, I guess that's just how it is. But, you know, had a pretty fast car, led a lot of laps, showed decent speed, but, just got screwed in the end by same guys always. So, I mean, it's whatever. But, we'll move on to next week, and, hopefully or 2 weeks actually in Chicago, and, hopefully we can just bring in a W.
Yeah, it showed great speed here at the Brickyard. Do you consider this your home track?
No, I don't. Okay,
well, regardless, great speed at a crown jewel. Very unique racetrack. So, again, great speed out of the 48 car. Good points day. So yeah, a lot to be happy about, but unfortunately not coming home with the trophy and kissing the bricks for Flicker. But as he said, got 2 weeks, a road course, one of the best drivers at the road courses. So hopefully he can get the win there. All right, now we will move to another one of the top performers tonight. The 64 of David just moved down 1 pit box. David ran the, oh, I didn't invite him. David running the Dynaco Racing Motorsports development car here tonight, coming off of a win last night in the Pennzoil 250. Had great pace, led a ton of laps, especially at the beginning of stage 3. And then, the strategy looked like it was not going to work out for you to win at least, but then got a good caution, and then unfortunately one of the drivers involved in the melee in turn 4 on the last lap. So tell me your overall impression of the race, and how was the car, and tell me what you needed over that last run.
Honestly, the car was great and spectacular. Sure, we had our issues in stage 2, but we were able to recover from that, get some good stops in stage 3, be up there, and last caution, took 2 tires, came over to the restart. We did okay there, and then I guess one of my teammates decided to absolutely force me below into 3, which causes me to get my car to get tight, and then force both of us into a jackknife, and cost me I don't know about a win, but at least a top 5. So I just unfortunate, you know, especially when you got drivers, especially teammates you think you could trust, that are a lap down fucking you over for no reason. But again, is what it is. I'm not a D1 driver, I'm D2. So really just trying to take this as a full learning experience. See, I guess, where else I can make my part-time starts. Okay, Papa Bis, shut the fuck up, respectfully.
God.
And yeah, just hoping to, I'm just gonna learn from this, see where we could take it from here and hope for more performances like that. Of course, barring the overtime.
All right, well, overall, showed great pace, like I said, but a learning experience taken away from the development start for David at Indianapolis. All right, let's try our race winner again. Let's try Dragon again. There we go. Dragon, I mean, I guess I could ask you the same thing I asked Tom. How does it feel to barely slide through that final lap wreck and then come to the Yard of Bricks, the winner of your second crown jewel of the season, man? I can't hear you if you're speaking. Hello?
Okay, hello. Am I good now?
There we go. Now I got you.
Thank goodness. Okay, can you repeat your question again, please?
Yeah, basically, how does it feel? What was going through your head on that final corner, barely sliding by that final lap wreck and then coming to the Yard of Bricks, the winner of the Brickyard 400 and your second crown jewel win of the season?
You know, all I had to do was just stay in the hunt. Just don't fall too far behind. Just if there's an opportunity to take it, do your best.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive win. Great run all day. And then being there in the right spot at the right time just to miss that wreck and then come to the checkered flag, the winner. I guess this is a great happy birthday gift as well. Crown jewel win, and definitely should help you in the points chase down Forza. So, again, congrats to you and Tom on the win. And hopefully we see you in 2 weeks at Chicago looking for another one.
Hope so too. All right, goodbye.
Bye. Okay, now we will interview, let's see, let's go, we'll interview Robloxian. Or a virtual interview with Robloxian. He already left the game. But, oh, he left the stage.
He's still here on my screen.
Oh, he left and rejoined. He's probably having issues too.
Yes.
I hate Discord. I hate Discord. All right, if you can't join the stage, just go to the practice VC. I'll interview you in there. All right, let's interview Ford then. Here we are, here on pit road with driver of the number 24 Ford, following the Brickyard. Pretty lackluster run, if I'm being honest, for Ford, but yeah, unfortunately caught up in that last lap wreck. I'm sure. I think everybody had a piece of that one. So, tell me what was going through your head as you were, coming through 3 and 4 for the final time, trying to pick up as many spots as possible, and then you see that big wreck break out in front of you.
I felt like Lightning McQueen at Bristol. There's nowhere to go, man. I mean, I got through. I mean, I ended up finishing fifth, and then fourth. So, it was a good run for how slow we were compared to the majority of the field. I think the biggest issue we had mid-race was definitely lag. I mean, I don't know what it is with my input delay, but whenever I get laggy, whether it's server lag or internet, the car never wants to turn. It always is just insanely tight. I don't know what it is. You can clearly tell the difference. So, it acts as if there's dirty air, basically. I don't know.
Wow.
It wasn't too bad, though. Unfortunate for the 48. It seems like every time he's around the 47 always does some dumb move. So I don't even know anymore. I'm getting tired of the lag issues with everything. So I don't know, but it was a good run. I mean, should give us like 60 something points or whatever. So
Yeah, very, very fruitful day in the point standings for the 2014. Getting stage points throughout both, and then a good top 5 finish should definitely help you in your late push to increase your point standings before the playoffs. So hopefully we see you back in the car in 2 weeks at Chicago Ford.
Yes, sir.
All right. And Visk is in here, so I assume he wants an interview. Or he left the game. All right, yeah. Well, a virtual interview with driver of the number 7, Visk. Let's see. Not your best run by any means, but I guess I'll ask you the same question I've asked everybody else. What did you see ahead of you on that final corner coming into that the field of that wreck? Hello. I can hear myself echoing. Okay. I guess he's stroking it or something. All right. Well, Mace, go to practice VC if you want an interview. All right. I'll interview Mace first, since I tried to get to him first. Here on pit road with the second place finisher in the Brickyard 400, Mace had a pretty decent run going. Spent most of your time right around the top 5, and then made it through that last lap wreck to finish second. So great points run for you and your team. But tell me what it was going through your mind that final lap. You're muted if you're talking. Mace, you're muted if you're talking.
Can you hear me? Hello?
There you go.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Anyway, as I was saying, believe me, when that caution came out, there was no one who was happier to see that yellow flag than me, because I knew if we bunched him back up one more time, just like anyone would have a shot at it, but I knew especially I would have a shot at it because I thought we had some decent pace all day. But on the final lap, when I was sitting in third, actually coming out of 2, I actually froze, and my heart just sank to my stomach because as soon as I loaded back in, I was somehow in the grass, and what was looking like a potential win was looking like maybe like 7th place. So that wreck happening right in front of me was a blessing in disguise. We got through it and ended up finishing second. So got to thank everyone at Late Night Racing, Bass Pro Shops on this car. Very, very solid run. I got to continue to build on it. I don't know if this will get us in the top 10 in points, but hey, I will always take a second. Also, Forza driving backwards behind the line was fucking badass.
Well, regardless, a very good finish for you and your team, as you said, but hopefully building some forward momentum in this final few races before the playoffs. So hopefully we see you in 2 weeks at Chicago.
Sir.
All right, now we're going to interview Robloxian. Robloxian, first race with the new team Rab Racing, and you end up getting a stage win out of it, so not a bad result at all. Unfortunately, caught up in that last lap wreck as well. But tell me how the car was before that, and tell me how the race went for you.
Yeah, I know coming out of qualifying position was a bit poor, but I've always been not the best of qualifiers. So I always knew that just keep working on it. I just told the guys keep working on it, and also me, like I'm always been a race pace person. Like I always do better in the race than I do in quali. Then I got to the race, and car. Like you said, rocket ship. Won the first stage. Came in second in the second stage. I felt very confident going into the third, and we were running. I think we were running top 5 towards the end. We had made our last pit stop. It was looking like Forza was going to pull it off with a fuel strategy, but I think we were going to finish like 4th or 5th. And, for the first race with a new team, I wouldn't, mind that. Then I don't know what happened to my old teammate, Zach. He hit the inside pit wall and came up the track and wiped us out. Had to go, had a caution and bunch things up. At first, it was a bit of a rocky restart, but we were able to get it, up into the top 5 till we got into turn 3 on the final lap, and all hell just broke loose. I don't know what happened. I just saw Forza flickers into the wall and then Forza and just take out. Yeah, it was, an uneventful finish, but I think a great overall day.
Yeah, definitely a lot to build on and a lot to be hopeful for in the new era with rab racing, you could call it. But more runs like that, and you should definitely be right around the cut line on the playoff push. So, congrats on the run, I guess, and hopefully I see you 2 weeks at Chicago.
Same here, man. Pleasure.
All right, now we'll interview Visk, another virtual interview. Driver of the 7 car. Not the best run, not the most eventful run for Visk, but I guess I'll ask the same question I asked everybody else. What was it? What did you see before that final wreck in the last corner?
Honestly, where do I start? Honestly, it was an awesome race. Overall, all I could say, a little bit of lag, I'd be on a turn and then I'd pop back up dead smack in the wall, but hey, that's what comes with it. I'm not mad at that. Before that final turn, I was happy. My eyes lit up for me and the team when I saw that caution. I thought it would be a great time for us to move up in positions, get pole potentially, not win, but get up there and pole. But I got Danica Patrick as a teammate here who does not know what they're doing in a race car and needs to go back to D2, but yet here we are. Feels like I'm driving for a team that's supposed to be in the movies or something. But yeah, congratulations to Dragon for winning. Congratulations to everybody out there doing their best, except for Danica Patrick, my teammate. And that's all I have to say.
All right, well, jeez.
Oh, King. Sorry. I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but I do have one question.
Okay,
was the number 7 lapped? Was the number 7 lapped?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I don't know. Get somebody to go back and I don't know. I'll go look at it after. I'll go look at it on the stream or something.
I don't remember being lapped. Okay.
Okay. I will.
All right, thank you.
I will look at it. Yep.
All right.
Now that'll do it for our coverage of the Brickyard 400 from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Dragon took it home in a last lap dash to the finish line. All hell broke loose in turn 4 on the last lap, and Dragon snuck by to take his second crown jewel victory of the season. But with that, that'll do it for our weekend at Indianapolis. Very fun weekend of racing. And once again, does not disappoint us. So we'll be back next weekend for the Break Series. Break Series only at the Chicago Street Course next weekend, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday as always. So hopefully we see you there. Hopefully you tune in. But for now, this is King signing off. Hope everybody has a good night.